All right, we're back, guys. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties with the live stream. Apparently, last Wednesday, there were some problems with the live streams as well. And we'll give it a few minutes for people to join. And for those who normally attend our live streams, we usually always do them on Saturday at 12 o'clock Eastern till 1 o'clock. But due to popular demand, people ask to have the stream during the week as well. So we normally do them on Wednesday, but I had things to do yesterday, so we're doing it today. Starting next Wednesday evening, we will go back to our regular schedule for the weeknight, and Saturday will remain. And hello, Mike. Thanks for joining. Give it another minute or so. We got a lot to discuss today. All right, we have a few more people joining. That's good. It doesn't show me who's on the stream, so unless you type in a message, I can't see who you are, so I can't acknowledge you. The messages do go by very quickly sometimes, and I can't get to them all. So if I don't acknowledge you or get to your questions, be patient. All right, you know what? We'll get started now. So last week, Governor Newsom in California signed a bill banning all Glocks and Glock clones effective January 1st, 2026. And hello, Donna. Kitty, thanks for joining. So what they basically did was they banned every generation Glock and all the Glock clones, such as the Ruger RXM, PSA Dagger, etc. And that's just really disturbing. And he signed the bill stating that it's because of the Glock switches that can easily convert the Glock and the Glock clones into fully automatic pistols. And they claim that Glock was aware of it. There's other states that jumped on the bandwagon, such as New Jersey, Minnesota, etc. Well, and hello, John. Thanks for joining, brother. A day or so ago, Glock made a public announcement, which is really mind-boggling. Kevin, I'll get to you in 1 minute. I'm sorry, this is just really disturbing. So as of November 30th, 2025, Glock is discontinuing every generation of their pistols except for the 43, 43X, and 48X. Now, they're not going to come out and say it, but you know it's because of the California Glock ban, right? I mean, It's very difficult to get on the approved DOJ list. And there's a lot of gun owners in California. So Glock is discontinuing all their pistols except for 3. And they are going to be coming out with a new product line called the V Series. And I find it a little strange that they're going to take their 2 flagship guns, the Glock 17 and the Glock 19, and they're going to discontinue them and re-release them under a new name called the V Series. And the V Series, I've seen a picture of it, is going to have a big V on the side. Now, Glock is not admitting that it's because of the Glock switch problem. And if it is because of that, I just think it's silly to restructure and rebrand your flagship products, because any firearm could be modified if you have the right tools. And if they're only doing it because of the Glock switch, I guarantee that within days after the new Glocks are released, there's going to be new Glock switches out there. And Justice, I think you got to go away. Now, the Glock 17 and the Glock 19 are the 2 most popular pistols in the world. And I thought for sure they would have kept those around. And, to take your 2 most popular guns, come out with a V Series that has not been tested for a long time, right? I mean, the Glock 17, the Glock 19 have been around for 30 years. They're tried and true. And hello, Curtis. Thanks for joining us. So I don't know how that's going to pan out. Now, Glock is also saying there's not going to be any radical changes to the external cosmetics, but we don't know. I'm also wondering if the V Series will be compatible with the original Glock holsters and magazines. We don't know. We just don't know enough about the new product. And it's a shame because, Glock set their reputation on the quality of the 17 and the 19. And those 2 pistols set the standards for polymer frame guns. So it's going to be very interesting when they come out with the V Series. Now, rumor has it it'll be December 2025. But like we already know, every time something has a launch date or a release date, it never makes it. But they pledged that they're going to continue to support all of the original and existing generations that exists. So we'll see. And I agree, the Spawn I won. And this is the problem. See, the NRA is suing California because of the Glock ban. If you have the time and you have the tools, you can convert any gun. And they're doing this, and the criminals are still going to have their Glock switches on the older generation guns. And this is what the dumbass politicians don't understand. But that's the deal on that. And Jay Sharp, hello. I'm just really curious about what they're actually doing with the internals of the V Series. Again, they claim it's not going to be anything radical. externally. But we don't have enough information. We don't know if the new V series will work in existing Glock holsters. We don't know if the existing series, V series, will work with the existing mags. And welcome, Martin. And I agree, David. Mike, I don't know. We don't know. It's just rumor and speculation right now. I mean, Glock claims that they have a lot of pistols that are too similar, and I agree with that. They got a lot of freaking guns that are almost identical. Kevin, I used to have a tourist judge, and I got rid of it for only one reason. The ammo is too expensive, and I just don't like having guns I can't afford to shoot. And we do have moderators and people that act like children. Will be booted off the stream, no questions asked. So, but if you do live in California, actually now anywhere for that matter, if you were thinking of buying a Glock, now would be the time to buy them. I mean, they're going to stop distributing them. My understanding is November 30th. Now, what's going to be interesting is when they come out with the V series, are the older Glocks going to be worth a lot of money because you can't get them anymore, or are they going to be worthless? We don't know. My guess is that they'll probably be worth a boatload of money because you won't be able to buy an original Glock 17 or 19 anymore. And Martin Rolfs, yes, I shoot all of my guns. I do not have any safe queens. Matter of fact, every gun I own, I do carry from time to time. So, another thing that's being brought up to the Supreme Court is, and yes, that is for all states, Glock is discontinuing every pistol except for the 43, 43X, 48X in every state. And that is, I'm assuming, based on California's stupid ban. And I live in the great state of Tennessee. And welcome, Daryl. Another thing that the Supreme Court is going to hear now is whether people who smoke marijuana can own firearms. And I'm not going to even answer that, Hawk. What difference it make? It's going to be interesting because just because you live in a state that legalized marijuana doesn't mean anything, because if your company requires you to take drug testing or you get pulled over by law enforcement, you could still get arrested for DUI. Martin Rawls, no, I am a Dallas Cowboys fan. But anyway, I digressed. So the Supreme Court is going to hear whether people who smoke marijuana can own a firearm. And if you go to purchase a firearm and the question is, do you use any illegal drugs, regardless of whether the state you live in has legalized it or not, marijuana is classified as an illegal drug on a federal level. And thank you, Mr. Danny Guns, for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Um, so I don't know how they're going to handle this thing with the marijuana. My guess is that if the Supreme Court rules that if you smoke marijuana, you can own a gun, I'm imagining then what they would have to do is legalize marijuana on a federal level, and then you can answer the question, do you use illegal drugs, and say no, because marijuana will not be illegal. Now, my feeling on that is no different than alcohol. Mm-hmm. If somebody smokes marijuana, they should be able to own a gun, right? I mean, it's just like alcohol. It doesn't say if you drink alcohol, you can't own a gun. You just can't operate a gun while you're under the influence of alcohol. It should be the same thing. If you smoke marijuana, that's fine, as long as you're not handling a firearm. But there's no law that says, if you have, there's not a law that even says if you're an alcoholic, you can't own guns. And I agree, alcohol is worse. I mean, look, if my wife and I are going out to a restaurant and I know I'm going to have a few drinks, I leave my gun home, right? Well, if you're going to go smoke dope and giggle and do all of the whatever you do when you smoke dope, just don't have a gun with you. That's all. But I don't feel that they should ban people who smoke marijuana from owning guns. They have the right to protect themselves, just like somebody that drinks. And this stupid gun ban in California on the Glocks, saying that Glock made their guns intentionally so that people can modify them, is just stupid. I mean, the Glock switches are already illegal on a federal level, right? So you're going to ban a gun so that some criminal is going to take something that's already illegal to make an illegal gun? That just doesn't make any sense. I mean, why don't they just ban automobiles? I mean, every car that's manufactured is capable of exceeding the speed limit and enabling the operators to break the law, but they don't do that. No, it does not depend on the state. Just because your state legalized marijuana, that doesn't mean anything. It's still classified as an illegal drug on a federal level. And just because your state legalized marijuana, if your company requires a drug test, you can still get fired if you fail, obviously. And if you get pulled over because you're stoned, just because marijuana is legal, you can still get arrested and lose your license. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do about the marijuana thing. But the Glock thing is just really concerning. Even though they won't come out and say it's because of California, I know it's because of that, because California has the third highest gun sales in the country. And I'm guessing that by Glock redesigning their guns and coming out with a V series, it kind of lets them start off on a new slate. But like I said, if you have the right tools, any gun could be modified. I will bet you any money it won't be long after the new V series comes out that somebody's going to come out with another Glock switch. And they're going to come after the AR-15s next, because it's just as easy to modify an AR-15, maybe easier, than a Glock. This whole thing is to unarm the society. It started with Governor Newsom banning Glocks effective January 1st, 2026. It's not going to end at Glock. The next thing he's going to do is he'll come after Smith & Wesson because of something they have he doesn't like. Or they'll go after Springfield or Canic or Walther. It's about control. And it's not going to stop here. And this is why, again, like I always say, we fight for our Second Amendment rights every day. Write your representatives. It's important. Martin. Martin, I don't know whether you're being a horse's ass. But like I said, we do have moderators, and eventually the people with stupid comments will just get booted out. No questions asked. I agree, Randall. I own a lot of guns, and hello to you, Brad. Thanks for joining. Thank you all for joining our live stream. We do this live stream every Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern. Only I had plans last night, so we're doing it today instead. But next week, we'll go back to our Wednesday schedule. And for people who can't make it during the week, we do it every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Help us grow. We do this stream for you guys. We don't really have a fixed agenda. As long as it's a gun-related topic, it's basically for questions and answers. If you have good or bad experiences with firearms or products, ask them here. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Nobody's going to flame you. This is how we learn. We didn't all wake up with the knowledge we have one day. It just takes a long period of time. Yes, Brad, guns don't pull the trigger. Like I said, mine must all be defective. I've owned guns for over 40 years, and none of my guns have ever shot anybody. So, all right, it's 8:16. We're going to end the stream at 9, so I'm sure you guys heard me babble enough. So now we'll take questions or comments, and we even encourage arguments. Arguments could be very good as long as they're done respectful and they don't get personal and nasty. You get to learn, and maybe you'd hear another point of view that you never thought of before. Randall, I'm glad you got the Savage stance. Let me tell you, I love that gun. My everyday carry for work used to be the Springfield Hellcat Pro. It's a really nice, compact, micro-compact pistol that conceals very well. But I got to tell you, when I bought that Savage stance, man, that thing really disappears. And it's got all the features of a duty weapon in a very compact size. I carry the stance to work now. Nobody even knows I have it. And Rex, I don't know anything about the Remington Model 8. I'm sorry, I can't hear. I can't help you with that. If there's someone else out here that does have info, please feel free to share it. Yeah, Randall, when I got my Savage stance, the one I got had a manual safety, and I did get the one that's got tritium night sights. A great feature on that is the quick optic release. And I got to tell you, for $400 and something, man, that is an awesome gun. I like that it comes with a 10 and 13 round magazine. Doesn't print at all. They did a nice job on the stippling. That was a good choice, Randall. I like the gray color too. It's nice. Not that there was anything wrong with my Hellcat Pro. The Hellcat Pro is a great gun. I mean, it's uh, now comes with 17 round magazines in a micro compact, but the grip's a little bit longer. Um, the Savage stance just really disappears. I got a really nice holster for it. I carry an appendix, and when I go to work, nobody even knows. Well, that was a great price there, Randall. And Mike M, the Hellcat Pro is an awesome gun. um, when I bought the Hellcat Pro, um, the local Rural King here had a sale on the gear up package. And I think it was like $500, and you got the Hellcat Pro, 5 magazines, and a range bag. And casual gamer, I do not shoot long range. I'm really a pistol guy, even though I do own rifles and shotguns. They're really not my favorite. I built most of my ARs, and I have my tactical shotgun for home defense. But I'm not really a big rifle guy. Mark Chambers. All of those are good. And you're new here, welcome aboard. We do this stream every week, and every week we get new people. I'd appreciate all the new people to subscribe to our channel. And Kaylee, hello to you. Thanks for joining. That's not a bad deal, Mike. I mean, like I said, I went to the local Rural King, and for the money, with the range bag and 5 mags, you can't go wrong. But back then, they were 15 round mags. Now they come with 17 round. And Chevy 73, hello to you. Thank you for joining. Those that just joined, we will be ending this at 9 o'clock. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Watch as many of our videos as you can so we can earn some revenue. Some people do support us on the chat by purchasing super chats. Anything helps. We are a small channel. We can't afford to go out and buy new guns every week just to review them. We use the revenue we get from the videos that are watched to purchase new guns. And thanks, John Doe. I appreciate that, Chevy. And any little thing helps. We're not as big as some of the channels, but people do like us because I like the relationship we have with our viewers and subscribers, and the interaction. It's a great forum for people to ask questions. When we first started this, people were very reluctant, but now a lot of people ask questions because, like I always say, everybody doesn't know everything, but everybody knows something. So we can all share our knowledge with each other. And I encourage arguments if you don't agree with something. Arguments are great as long as they're respectful and they don't get personal. There's nothing wrong with that. And we are approaching 7,000 subscribers. I'm thinking we could probably do that this month. My goal is 10,000 by the end of the year. Casual gamer, AR versus AK. I can only go by what I own. I do not own AK. I only own ARs. Not because I think there's anything wrong with the AKs, just never interested me. And I am from New Jersey originally, but I live in the great state of Tennessee now. Nice, John. Yeah, I have both. I have a biometric safe. I have a digital safe, and I have one with a keypad. But anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. So you asked me the AR to AK. I could only go by the AR, and honestly, I even though I don't own an AK, I like the fact that the AR is a great platform. Right, um, you could use the same lower and just buy a new upper, and you can shoot 223, 556, 300 blackout. Um, you can build an AR-10 with a 308 on the AR platform. There's a boatload of accessories and hardware for the ARs. So, and also I built a lot of AR pistols. Um, Also, 1 in 300 blackout. And again, I want to thank our moderators. They work very hard every week. We always do get a few jackasses that um, try to come out here and spoil it for everybody, but they're entertaining as well. But we do weed them out, and um, we do not give warnings. We just boot you. This is for you guys, and we're not going to let a bunch of horses' asses ruin it for you. I agree with you, Gamer. I've heard that the AK is more reliable. But, I've owned ARs for a long, long time, and they've been very reliable too. And I just think they're more diversified. You could do a lot more with them. It's a lot more accessories. Yeah, BTC, anybody that wants Glocks, go out and buy them now before November 30th. The Mini 14 is a great gun too, as is the M4. And again, I apologize if I miss your comments. They do scroll by very quickly, so I don't always see them right away. And if I don't or didn't acknowledge you, I apologize for that as well. They just go by so fast, I just can't see them. What's my shit hits the fan, primary and secondary? That's a good question. I guess when you own a lot of guns, it's very hard. So I guess my first choice would be my Mossberg 500 Persuader shotgun. My second would probably be my Remington 308 bolt action. Zombie Apocalypse. All right, that's different. On the Zombie Apocalypse, I got a bunch of guns I would use. First off, for Zombie Apocalypse, I would take my Remington 308 bolt action. I would take my Mossberg 500 Persuader shotgun. For a revolver, I'll take my Colt Python. And for semi-automatic, I'll take my Glock 20. That's pretty much what I would do when the shit hits the fan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, AI does a kind of messed up job with translation sometimes. And it is 8:28, so we have about a half an hour left. So, no, I probably would not take the AR-15. The reason for that is my Remington 308. I always wanted a 308. I always wanted a bolt action. And when I got that, I got to tell you, the first time out of the box, I hit the gong at about 150 yards. Um, the Glock 20 is just one of my favorites. Um, that thing will stop on anything on two legs or four. And Jihad, you're just an asshole. You're going away. Um, trying to read the comments here. Mr. Danny Guns. Currently, I don't hunt. When I retire, I plan on doing that, but I would use my bolt action. If I went hunting, I would take that Remington 308 bolt action any day. Now, fortunately, I live in the great state of Tennessee, so I'm also allowed to use an AR, and I'm allowed to use a pistol as long as it's 38 caliber or higher. So, yeah, 4K for a gun is a lot of money. I mean, honestly, um, there's a certain dollar amount where, you know, if you had to stop a threat, is a $4,000 gun going to stop the threat any more than $1,000 gun? Um, 180 VR. I don't have a shield, but my wife does. My wife has a Smith & Wesson Shield EZ. And thanks, GH XST. Yeah, I got a lot of ink. I mean, I got a lot of ink. Um, I don't regret it. I used to get ink for my birthday every year, but I kind of ran out of canvas. Casual gamer. Um, I'm a range safety officer, so let me look at your question. For long rifles, you should spend around half the price of the gun on the scope. Do you agree? I guess if you're going to be hunting for long range, yes. And hello, Carl. Thanks for joining. And that's a good point, casual gamer. I mean, as long as you're not buying a gun, that's a piece of crap, right? Um, Scopes are very expensive. And with a good quality scope, you can shoot well with a lesser quality gun. But a better gun with a crappy scope is going to make you shoot. Is it going to make you shoot as well? I have scopes on mine, but they're not really expensive ones. Um, but I don't shoot long range and I don't hunt yet. But when the time comes that I do go hunting, I will invest in better scopes. I do have red dots on some of my rifles, especially my AR-15 pistols. And how many of you all out there do your own reloading? Casual gamer, yes, I show my guns and do shooting videos. Subscribe to the channel, watch my videos. You are not allowed to handle or show or display guns on a live stream. YouTube will cut you off for that. Yes, good point, Roger. The scope, the optics, accessories, it does depend on the purpose of the firearm. If you're just going to go plinking at the range, I mean, honestly, iron sights are fine. If you're going to use it for home defense or hunting, that's another story. Same thing with any gun. It depends on what you're going to be using the gun for. I finally got done priming my brass. I just got done priming 1,000 cases of 10 millimeter. So now I could start loading them up this weekend. 10 millimeter is one of my favorites, and getting nervous. I only have about 5,000 rounds left. So and like I said, this stream is for you guys. So if you have any topics you want to talk about, I'm probably going to actually do a video this weekend on what you need to reload. A lot of people have asked me if it's worth reloading and what you need. So I'll probably, do a video at the reloading bench and show the bullet press and the powder measure and everything you need to get going on your own. I don't cast my own bullets. I do buy my bullets pre-made. Danny Guns, what speed loaders do I use for my revolvers? You know what? I can't remember the name off the top of my head. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel and do a search on speed loaders. I've done reviews on them. And Billy Thompson, I am in the great state of Tennessee. And matter of fact, Danny Guns, I just have a product I haven't even reviewed yet. And it is a speed loader that instead of the big bulky round speed loader, you put the bullets in it and it's flat in a little holster. And then as you pull it out, it turns into a circle and you drop it in. I just haven't tried it yet. I also had another product I haven't tried yet. I felt bad. They sent it to me for a while now, and it's called the Brass Goat. And it attaches to the mag well of your AR-15, and it catches all your brass, so you can spend more time shooting and less time looking in the grass. Yeah, Danny, I reload because a friend of mine gave me the reloading press, okay? I did a video and a breakdown of it. Basically, if you're thinking of reloading, by the time you buy the equipment and the consumables to do your first batch, you're going to spend well over $1,000. And I did the math on it, and I estimate you need to reload around 5,000 rounds to break even. And then after that, it gets a little bit cheaper because, you get to use the same brass. But reloading isn't really about saving money. You could experiment with different loads, especially if you're a hunter. But more importantly, we reload so that you never have an ammo shortage, right? I mean, my local gun store hasn't had 10 millimeter ammo for a long, long time. So I'm reloading another 5,000 now. Ammo Alchemist, How you doing there, brother? Thanks for joining us again. And you're absolutely correct. Reloading is really not meant to save money. It's for dialing in the perfect round, and more importantly, so that you never have an ammo shortage, right? Like during the pandemic, you couldn't get ammo. Um, I go to the store and sometimes I can't find 45 or 10 millimeter. And if I do, it's outrageously expensive. Um, I just always have it. Outside the tools, the biggest expense of reloading, um, that's it's not really the consumables aren't really that outrageous. I mean, after you buy the tools, right? You buy your bullet press, the powder measure, set of calipers, your dies, um, a scale. Um, After that, really, it's the cost of the bullets and the brass. Um, the brass you can reuse, but for bullets, I use high tech coated lead bullets. Um, and it's not really outrageous. It's like I don't know, $50 for 500. GHXST Glock 20 is one of my favorites. Um, Last weekend, I just bought its little brother. I bought the Glock 29 as well. It's also a great little gun. Um, Colt 38 pistol is nice. Um, I bought myself for Christmas, because I always wanted one. I bought a Colt Python, and I bought the Combat Elite. And the reason I got the Combat Elite is because um, it comes with G10 grips, fiber optic sights, and the cylinder is solid. It's not fluted. Um, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Let me tell you, when you go and you plunk down $1,300 on a Colt, um, you know when you pull that trigger, you'll know why it costs so much money. That Colt Python has got the best trigger on any revolver um, I've ever spent. But I have to admit, I do like my Colt 1911. Um, I'm a huge 45 fan, hence Pro Gun 45. But I think I actually bought my favorite 45 a month or so ago. Um, I got a great deal on the Springfield Emissary, and that is badass. That takes the classic 45 ACP and adds some uh, tacticalness to it. G10 grips, uh, tritium front night sight, U-notch rear sight. Absolutely gorgeous. I agree with you, Alchemist. That Colt Python, that double action trigger is like butter. And let me tell you, when people say, "Well, um, is a Colt really worth it?" Yeah, it is. I like my Smith and Wesson 686. I like the 7 rounds, but if you put them side by side and pull the trigger, that Colt Python trigger is just like butter, and it is definitely more noticeable than the Smith and Wesson. There's nothing wrong with a Smith and Wesson, um, but if you put them side by side, that's why the Python is $1,300. When you pull that trigger, you know where that money went. It went into that trigger. Um, so others may live. Glock 20 is an awesome gun. And just in case you don't know, um, you can also shoot 40 caliber um, out of the 10 millimeter. But I'm old in my brain. A 1911 is a 45 ACP. It's kind of sacrilegious to make them in 38 Super and 9mm, but that's just me because I'm old school. William, you know what? There's going to be a lot of fighting over them when I die. I know they're worth it. I mean, I think I have I used to trade some of my guns in to get different guns, but I'm at the point now where I don't really have any guns I'm willing to give up anymore. You want something a little hotter for bears and cats? You may want to look at a 44 Magnum. And a 44 Magnum would definitely be the way to go for a bear or cat. We've got 15 minutes left. You can't go wrong with a 10mm, so others may live. You could shoot 40 caliber out of it, and if you're going hunting and you use like buffalo bore 230 grain, for some of the people that have 40 calibers that keep saying that it's the same as a 10mm, it's only because they shot 40 caliber ammo. You shoot a full blown 10mm, they're nothing alike. And hello, Reggie. And we have a bunch of new people here again. I appreciate that. Please subscribe to our channel, help us grow. William, it all comes down to shot placement, right? You'd want something that you could manage the recoil on, and you can with a 10mm. Because let me tell you, if you're getting charged by a bear, you'd be lucky you get 2 shots off. And a 44 Magnum with that recoil, you're probably not going to get a second round off on that. And everybody keeps saying, well, yeah, it's about shot placement. Yeah, it is, but when it comes to a bear, I don't think a 9mm is enough to penetrate through the fat layers. And unless you're going to shoot it between the eyes with a 9mm, I just don't think a 9mm will penetrate all the fat on a bear. I know a lot of the Alaskan tour guides use Glock 20s because that 10mm will take out anything on 2 legs or 4. But it's not for everybody. There's a learning curve, and I love the 10mm, but I got to be honest with you. Consecutive follow-up shots on a 10mm, not going to be anywhere near as accurate as you would with a 9 or a 45. Yeah, so others may live. Yeah, well, that's the drawback with the Magnum revolvers. However, if you get a revolver that's heavy enough, like I got to tell you, all my revolvers, I have 3-inch barrels because I carry every gun I own at one time or another. And my Colt Python is freaking heavy, even with a 3-inch barrel. And that does mitigate the risk pretty well. I'm just curious why a 10 gauge shotgun. I mean, a 12 gauge is more than enough power. We got about 10 minutes, guys. So if you have any questions or topics, please feel free to enter them. I'll be honest with you. So others may live. I don't think I've ever seen 10 gauge ammo. I mean, I see a lot of 12. I don't even see a lot of 20 gauge ammo. I mean, out here, I just, when I go to the gun store, it's mostly 12 gauge and some 20. And when I used to have the Taurus Judge, I liked that it used 410 shotgun shells out of a pistol, but then 410 is real expensive. I mean, it's a great snake gun, but ammo is just so damn expensive, and 45 Colt is outrageous. So I wound up getting rid of it. Nothing worse than to have a gun you can't afford to shoot. So um, I reload for 10 millimeter, 45, and 357 Magnum. 9 millimeters too cheap. It's not worth reloading. So any gun I buy is either going to be 10 millimeter or 45 or 357 because I have boatloads of ammo for that. Yeah, I want a 1 gauge from Czechoslovakia. Again, I appreciate everybody for joining us on the live stream. There's a lot of things you guys could be doing with your time, and appreciate it that you spend it with us. And Christian uploads. I got to tell you, and you obviously again with the name Pro Gun 45, I'm a huge fan of the 45, especially the 1911s. And when I hear 1911, my brain just says 45 ACP. I still think it's sacrilegious having a 1911 and 38 Super and 9 millimeter. They're extremely reliable. There's a reason that they're still around this long. Glad to hear that, William. Yeah, we have copperheads and rattlesnakes down here, and I always worry about finding one of those things in the backyard. My dog is all black, and when it's dark outside and he's up there screwing around by the tree line, it always gets me worried that one day he's going to get bit by a snake. And fortunately, we've been here for 7 years. I haven't seen one yet, even though we know that there are rattlesnakes and copperheads in the area. We're just fortunate that we haven't seen them, but I would definitely be taking out my Mossberg 500 for that. And SRT Cop, hello to you. Thanks for joining. Sorry you joined the stream so late. We will be ending the stream at 9 o'clock. For those who just found us, we do this live stream twice a week, Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern till 9 o'clock p.m., and Saturday from 12 noon Eastern till 1 o'clock p.m. I had plans last night, so I couldn't do it last night. That's the only reason we did it today. So we'll be back on track next week. Yeah, Terminator. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, and again, John, thank you so much for all your work. I know you've had quite a workout on these live streams because surprisingly, we do get a lot of assholes. Yeah, the other thing, William, the copperhead babies, that's a real dangerous gun. I'm sorry, that's a real dangerous snake because uh, the copperhead babies, they can't control the venom, so when they bite, they inject all the venom at once. Uh, the adult uh, snakes, they can save it for prey, but the babies didn't learn yet. And despite all the assholes that we have, we're still going to do this. Um, we just boot them off, no questions asked, and kind of flattered actually that on the Wednesday night with all the things that they could be doing, that they choose my live stream. So I even thank them. And we have 5 minutes left. I'm assuming that these people who have way too much time on their hands today um, are probably a bunch of retards that are living in their mother's basement. Yeah, a lot of dumbasses in this world, and there's a lot of liberals that are still living in mommy and daddy's basement. Bob Marley, sorry about that. We got 4 minutes and this stream will end. Now, we're talking about all of these morons that are joining the stream this late. They're all liberals that live with their mommy and daddy that have nothing else to do, and they probably go to the No Kings rally because they don't even know what a woman is. So I don't know how they know what a king is, but and we have more liberals that are living with their mommy and daddy in the basement. So Bob Marley, being that you just joined, we do this live stream every Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern till 9, and Saturday at 12 noon Eastern till 1 o'clock. I had something to do yesterday. That's the only reason we're doing it today. But as of next week, we'll be back starting on Wednesdays again. And again, I'm actually flattered that we have all of these liberals that live with their mommy and daddy in the basement that have nothing better to do today than to join our live stream. So wow. I mean, these people must all live in the same mommy and daddy's basement, that they're all coming out of the woodwork at the same time. But I'm flattered that out of all the things that they could be doing, they chose to get out of mommy and daddy's basement to join our stream. So, yeah, well, that's the thing, Bob Marley. See, we don't even know what these protests are. Those dumbasses that live in their parents' basement, they don't even know what these protests are. They just go. But You see the differences? We have jobs that we have to go to every day. These people don't have jobs, and they live in mommy and daddy's basement. And that's why they have nothing to do all day, so they can go to these rallies and protests. Yeah, a lot of trolls. It just we just seem to have a lot of them tonight. But the guys asked for one live stream midweek. Sorry to hear about that, Marley. That's the streams we have: Saturday, 12 noon Eastern, and Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock p.m. And sorry you're late, Ted. We're just ending the stream now. Apologize for that, but Wednesday we'll be back on our normal schedule. All right, guys. I really appreciate this. Thanks for all the new people. Every week we get more and more new people, and I appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, help us grow. We'll be here again on Saturday at 12 noon Eastern until 1 o'clock. And next week, midweek, we'll start again at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Bob Marley, thank you for the kind words. John, thank you again so much, brother, for all the help getting rid of all of the liberals that live with their mommy and daddy in the basements. And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for joining.